This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African network. I am Ruel Panao and this is Africa Now. El Ghazim Wayne, a Mauritanian diplomat, has been named the new United Nations envoy to Mali, where he will lead one of the organization's most important peace operations, the world body said. Wayne was the UN Assistant Secretary General for peacekeeping operations between 2016 and 2017. Prior to that, he served 6 years in the African Union, where he returned as chief advisor to the Commission chairperson from 2017 to 2019. Also, he was the leader of a team in recent months to conduct an independent strategic review of the UN-led peacekeeping operation in South Sudan. Wayne will take over from former Chadian Foreign Minister Anadif Kater Mohamed Saleh, who will take over as head of the UN Office for West Africa and the Sahel based in Dakar. In politics, Tunisia's President Kais Saied will visit Libya on Wednesday, his office said, after Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dbeibeh and all the members of his government of national unity took the legal oath of office in front of the House of Representatives in Tobruk on Monday. This is the first unified Libyan government since the 2014 Libya-Dawn Tripoli militia coup that led to the political, military, and to a degree, economic split of the country. The new transitional government is made up of 26 ministers, 2 deputy PMs, and 5 state ministers who have never occupied posts in Libya's previous governments. Saleh's office said the visit is to support the democratic path in Libya, which aims to hold national elections in December in a bid to end its decade-long conflict. And on insecurity, the United States government and the government of Mozambique on Monday launched a 2-month joint combined exchange program, JCTE training, where the U.S. Special Operations Forces would train Mozambican Marines for 2 months to support Mozambique's effort to prevent the spread of terrorism and violent extremism. In addition to training, the U.S. government provided medical and communications equipment. This was disclosed by the United States Embassy in Maputo. Armed groups known locally as Al-Shabaab have been terrorizing the province of Cabo Delgado, which borders Tanzania and is an area that is rich in natural gas, for more than 3 years. The move comes as the U.S. designated rebel groups in Mozambique and the Democratic Republic of Congo as foreign terrorist organizations last week. The South Sudan Humanitarian Response Plan for 2021 has on Tuesday been launched, with the plan requesting $1.7 billion to reach 6.6 million people in South Sudan with urgent life-saving assistance and protection by the end of 2021. The ongoing subnational violence and localized conflicts in many parts of the country, combined with the disruptive impacts of the COVID-19 on market services and movements, are said to have led to a substantial increase in vulnerabilities. The country is expected to yet again experience devastating flooding this year, which affected almost 1 million people in both 2019 and 2020. As a result, South Sudan is facing its highest levels of food insecurity and malnutrition since independence 10 years ago. Alain Nudehu, the humanitarian coordinator in South Sudan, said conflict, displacement, loss of livelihoods, inability to reach health care, and lack of access to schools have created urgent humanitarian and protection needs, especially for women and children. He added that urgent funding is needed to prevent a further deterioration of the situation, adding that violence too needs to stop so that the people of South Sudan can finally recover from the crisis and rebuild their lives. This is your digital first Pan-African network, TOS Television Network. You're watching Africa Now. Do stay tuned for updates on COVID-19 after the break. Welcome back. We continue with COVID-19 updates. Ethiopia and Somalia are the latest African countries to have been added to England's red list to protect the country against new variants of coronavirus at a critical time for the vaccine program. A press release by the country's Department for Transport said the move, they say, will help to reduce the risk of new variants entering the country. The ban takes effect from 4 a.m. Friday, March 19. A ban on commercial and private planes traveling from Ethiopia will also come into force on Friday to reduce the risk of importing variants of concern, but this excludes cargo and freight without passengers. Meanwhile, Mauritius will be removed from the country's red list. What this means is that passengers arriving into England from Mauritius will no longer be required to quarantine in a government-approved facility. African countries already on the list include Angola, Botswana, Burundi, Cape Verde, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Rwanda, Seychelles, and South Africa. Still on COVID-19, Sierra Leone kicked off its COVID-19 vaccination campaign on Monday with President Julius Maada Bio receiving a jab of one of the 200,000 doses of Sinopharm vaccines donated by China. The West African country has also received 96,000 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines via the World Trade Organization's COVAX facility.
At this stage, it is a milestone that we've been trying to fight off COVID using measures, but now we have a vaccine. I think I can safely say that we have fought a very good fight.
The launch took place at the State House in the capital, Freetown, with a ceremony during which other government officials, parliamentarians, and senior civil servants were also vaccinated. The first phase of the vaccination campaign targets people over 70, teachers, firefighters, government officials, and health workers. Sierra Leone, a country of 7.5 million people, has officially recorded 3,937 cases of coronavirus, including 79 deaths. Nonetheless, the government imposed a nationwide curfew last month. Rwanda has eased some of its restrictive measures against the spread of coronavirus, including a reduction of 9 curfew hours. In a statement by the government on Monday night, the curfew will be reduced by 2 hours and it will now run from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. local time, with businesses required to close by 8 p.m. Physical meetings have also resumed but should not exceed 30% of the venue capacity. All bars still remain closed. Movement between the capital Kigali and the rest of the country resumed on Tuesday, apart from 3 districts of the southern and eastern provinces. The country's health ministry has so far announced more than 20,000 cases of COVID-19 infections and 282 deaths. Meanwhile, more than 257,000 people have got the first jab of the COVID vaccine. This is still your digital first Pan-African network, TOS TV network. You are watching Africa Now. Do stay tuned for stories on the Nile Dam dispute and the Kenya-Somalia sea boundary. Now, after the break. Thank you for staying tuned. You're watching Africa Now. Sudan has formally requested for an expanded mediation team on the dispute over the Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam being built on the Nile River. Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok has written to the United Nations, the Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi, who is the African Union Chairman, the European Union and the United States of America. Ethiopia, which sees the dam as critical for producing enough energy to power its economic dreams, opposes the additional mediators other than the African Union. In a statement, Hamdok expressed concern over Ethiopia's declared intention to fill the dam for the second time in June without a binding agreement between the 3 concerned countries. The Sudanese Prime Minister said the negotiations will provide significant international and regional support and constitute the required guarantee to build confidence in the negotiations. Egypt has long opposed the construction of the dam on grounds that the dam would restrict the flow of water, which it relies on for nearly all its freshwater needs. Sudan, Ethiopia and Egypt have been locked for almost 10 years in inconclusive talks over the filling and operation of the hydropower dam, which broke ground in 2011. Both Egypt and Sudan lie downstream from the GERD, which Addis Ababa says is crucial to its economic development. Kenya had refused to participate in hearings at the World Court about a maritime boundary dispute with Somalia over contested parts of the Indian Ocean in a dispute that has strained the neighbors' diplomatic relations. In its letter, Kenya had also reportedly argued that holding the ICJ hearings virtually did not allow it to present its case in the most effective way. The case was filed in 2014 by Somalia at the International Court of Justice (ICJ), the United Nations highest court for disputes between states. A decision could determine rights to exploit oil and gas in the deep waters of the East African coastline. Hearings, when both sides were due to present arguments, were scheduled for this week, but Kenya was not present in the first day on Monday in court or via video link. Presiding Judge Joan Ndungu said Kenya informed the court by letter dated March 11, received March 12, that they would not participate, but the court would go ahead with hearing Somalia's case and would use written evidence provided by Kenya instead, Ndungu said. Mahdi Mohamed Gulait, opening Somalia's case, said Somalia is deeply concerned that Kenya had decided not to appear at these hearings. He also said it was inconsistent with the rule of law and Kenya's commitment to the court. Kenya has no grounds to complain about its treatment by the court after the ICJ granted 3 previous requests for delays that held up the case by 18 months, he said. The ICJ on Monday, however, dismissed Kenya's request for a 30-minute opportunity to orally address the court before the commencement of the actual hearings. French nuclear group Orano's Cominac uranium mine in Niger has announced it will shut down by the end of March due to the depletion of its reserves, the mine's board of directors announced last week. The company has been mining uranium in the region for over 40 years. Cominac will render over 600 employees jobless, but plans are underway to compensate for their social plan, the company said. The company has announced that it will pay its employees between $36,000 and $109,000 as part of the compensation program. The company has also vowed to restore the area to its original state and will plant trees after a complete demolition. The French group has also cited high operational costs amidst scarcity of uranium and low prices of the ore on the market as part of the reason for its closure. Prices have fallen in the face of oversupply in the wake of the signing of COP21, the Paris Climate Agreement. And in entertainment, South African Netflix documentary My Octopus Teacher has been nominated for an Academy Award, popularly known as the Oscars, in the Best Documentary Feature category. The 2020 Netflix original by Pippa Ehrlich and James Reed documents a year spent by filmmaker Craig Foster forging a relationship with a wild common octopus in the South African kelp forest in Force Bay near Cape Town. The heartwarming film shows Craig Foster's growing intimate relationship with the octopus that he follows around underwater for nearly a year. The film is up against 4 others in the category. It already scooped a number of awards in 2020, including 2 wins at the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards for Best Science Nature Documentary and Best Cinematography. And that is all on Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Do also follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television. I am Ruel Panao. Thank you for watching.